in a world where disrespect is as common as the air we breathe. In this case, stoicism stands as our armor. Remember the stings of mockery and insult. With stoic wisdom, those become mere whispers against a fortress. Today, I'll unveil lessons that don't just teach you to endure disrespect, but master it. Listen closely. Lesson 1. Keep yourself cool and calm. Imagine a big rock sitting in the middle of a wild sea. Even when big waves hit it, the rock doesn't move. It stays in its place, strong and calm. That's how you should be when someone is rude or mean to you. Marcus Aurelius, a wise man from a long time ago, once said that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This means the best way to respond to someone who hurts you is to not act like them. Think about a time when someone said something mean to you. Maybe it was at school, at work, or even at home. It's easy to get angry and shout back. But if you do that, you're letting them win. Instead, if you stay calm and don't let their words bother you, you show them that you're stronger. Being calm doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're in control. It's like being the captain of your own ship, even when the sea is rough. So, the next time someone tries to upset you, remember the rock and the sea. Stay calm, and you'll show them that their words can't hurt you. Lesson 2. Recognize your part of mistake. Imagine two kids playing with a ball, and it breaks a window. Both kids were playing, so both share some blame. In life, when problems happen, or when someone is rude to you, sometimes it's not just their fault. Maybe you had a small part in it too. A wise saying goes, before you point a finger at someone, remember, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. This means before blaming someone, think about what you might have done too. Let's say a friend got mad at you for being late. Yes, they shouldn't shout or be mean, but also, you shouldn't have been late. Recognizing your part is about being honest with yourself. It's about understanding that everyone makes mistakes, including you. It's not about feeling bad or guilty. It's about learning and growing. When you understand your mistakes, you can fix them and avoid them in the future. So, the next time there's a problem or someone is upset with you, take a moment. Think about what you might have done and how you can make things better. Lesson 3. Learn to take pause in anger. Imagine a boiling pot on the stove. If you turn off the heat, it stops boiling after a while. Our anger is like that pot. When someone is rude or mean, our first reaction might be to get angry and boil over. But if we take a moment to turn off the heat, our anger can cool down. There's an old saying, speak when you are angry, and you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret. This means that when we talk in anger, we often say things we don't mean, and later wish we hadn't said. Think about a time when someone said something that made you really mad. Maybe you wanted to shout back right away. But what if you took a deep breath and waited a few seconds before responding? That small pause can make a big difference. Pausing when you're angry gives you time to think. It helps you choose your words carefully and not say something you might regret. It's like giving your mind a short break to decide the best way to handle the situation. So, the next time someone upsets you, remember the boiling pot. Take a moment, breathe, and let your anger cool down before you respond. Lesson 4. Concentrate on virtue, be rational, and maintain integrity. Imagine a compass. No matter where you take it, it always points north. It stays true to its direction. That's how you should be with your values and principles, always staying true to what's right. A famous philosopher, Epictetus once said, "Memon is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This means that sometimes our biggest problems are the ones we create in our minds. Think about a time when someone disrespected you. Maybe they spread a rumor or lied about you. It's easy to want to get back at them or to do the same thing to them, but that's not staying true to your values. Being rational means thinking clearly and not letting emotions cloud your judgment. Integrity is about doing the right thing, even when it's hard. Being true to your values is like being that compass. Even when things get tough, you stay true to what's right. You don't let others pull you in the wrong direction. So, the next time someone tries to lead you astray or challenges your principles, remember the compass. Stay true to your direction and always do what's right. Lesson 5. Embrace acceptance and don't try to control external. Imagine a tree during a storm. The wind blows, the rain pours, but the tree doesn't try to stop the storm. It simply stands strong and waits for the storm to pass. That's how you should be with things you can't control. A wise thinker, Seneca, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that sometimes we worry about things that haven't happened or things we can't change. Think about a time when someone said something mean about you and you couldn't stop thinking about it. You can't control what others say or do, but you can control how you react to it. Worrying about things you can't change is like trying to stop the rain. It's impossible and only makes you feel worse. Acceptance is about understanding that some things are out of your control. It's about focusing on what you can change and letting go of the rest. It's like being that tree in the storm, standing strong, and waiting for the bad times to pass. So, the next time something happens that you can't control, remember the tree. Stand strong. Let go of your worries and focus on what you can do. Lesson 6. Set clear boundaries. Imagine a fence around a house. It shows where the property starts and ends. It tells others what space is private, just like that fence. You need to set clear boundaries in your life to show people how they should treat you. The philosopher Socrates once said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." This means that we should always think about and understand our own needs and limits. Think about a time when someone kept asking you for favors and you felt overwhelmed. Maybe you wanted to say no, but you didn't. Setting boundaries is like putting up that fence. It's a way to tell people what you're okay with and what you're not. Having clear boundaries doesn't mean you're being mean or selfish. It means you're taking care of yourself. It's about knowing your limits and making sure others respect them. So the next time someone tries to push you too far or ask too much, remember the fence. Be clear about your boundaries, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Lesson 7. Show forgiveness. Imagine a heavy backpack filled with stones. Carrying it around all day would be tiring, right? Holding on to anger and grudges is like carrying that heavy backpack. Forgiveness is like setting it down and feeling free. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it." This means that if someone hurts you, it's the memory of it that keeps the pain alive. Think about a time when someone did something wrong to you. Maybe they said something mean or broke a promise. It's natural to feel hurt and angry, but if you keep holding on to that anger, it's like carrying that heavy backpack everywhere. It weighs you down. Choosing to forgive doesn't mean you're saying what they did is okay. It means you're choosing to let go of the anger and move on. It's about giving yourself peace and freedom. So the next time someone hurts you, remember the heavy backpack. Choose to forgive, set it down, and feel the weight lift off your shoulders. Lesson 8. Change your perspective. Imagine hearing a loud noise in a dark room. It might seem scary and alarming, but when you turn on the light, you realize it was just a book falling off a shelf. Sometimes, acts of disrespect or hurtful words feel like that loud noise in the dark. But when you shed light on them, understanding their insignificance, they become much less intimidating. The philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our view of things." This means that it's not what happens to us, but how we see it, that makes us feel a certain way. Think about a time when someone said or did something that upset you. At the moment, it felt like a big deal, but later, when you looked at it in the light of day, you realized it wasn't that important. Changing your perspective is like turning on that light in a dark room. It's about seeing things clearly and understanding their true nature. When you change how you look at problems or disrespect, they become less powerful. They don't control how you feel or act. So, the next time something bothers you, shine a light on it. Change your perspective and see if it's really as big a deal as you first thought. You've just unlocked stoic strategies to crush disrespect. So, which lesson lit a fire in you? Drop it in the comments. Want more hard-hitting wisdom? Smash that subscribe button. Don't just scroll away. Dive in, sound off, and gear up for the next battle.